Welcome to Psalms from the Couch. Today we're in Psalm 9, a psalm where gratitude and grief sit beside each other, both held before God without contradiction. David praises with conviction, laments with honesty, and trusts with depth. This psalm teaches us that remembering God's faithfulness strengthens us in the present and anchors us in the hope for what is still to come. Let's read Psalm 9 together. To the choir master, according to 𝗣𝗆𝘆𝗆, a psalm of David. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all of your wondrous deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne giving righteous judgment. You have rebuked the nations, you have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy came to an end in everlasting ruins. Their cities you rooted out. The very memory of them has perished. But the Lord sits enthroned forever. He has established his throne for justice, and he judges the world with righteousness. He judges the peoples with uprightness. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you, for you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds. For he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk in the pit that they made, in the net that they hid. Their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the works of their own hands. The wicked shall return to Sheol, all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. Psalm 9 opens with a deliberate act of devotion. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. David isn't speaking from comfort, he's speaking from conviction. Gratitude here is not an emotional reaction, it's a spiritual decision. He remembers God's wonderful deeds, not because of everything being easy, but because remembering anchors him in what is true. Psalm 103 verse 2 echoes this. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. David then describes how God has acted for him in the past, defending him, judging rightly, upholding his cause. This is how faith looks back, not to dwell on the past, but to steady the present. When the future feels uncertain, memory becomes a form of worship. Then David lifts his eyes towards God's throne. The Lord sits enthroned forever. He judges the world with righteousness. In a world of shifting powers and unreliable leaders, David roots himself in the unchanging character of God. He reminds himself and us that God's sovereignty is not seasonal. It is steady, constant, unmoved by human turbulence. And then comes one of the most beautiful lines in the psalm as we read in verse 9, the Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a a stronghold in times of trouble. There is no pretending here. David acknowledges oppression, trouble, difficulty, yet he names God as the refuge in the midst of it. Nahum 1 verse 7 captures this same heart. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him. David then invites others into this trust. Those who know your name put their trust in you. To know God's name is to know His character, His dependability, His mercy, His justice, His nearness. Trust grows from knowing who He is, not from predicting what He will do. As the psalm continues, David shifts back into lament. In verse 13, he cries out, "Be gracious to me, see my affliction." It's a reminder that praising God does not silence our pain. It makes space for our pain to be spoken honestly before Him. David is not embarrassed to bring his grief into the presence of the God he just praised. This is the spiritual rhythm Psalm 9 teaches us. Gratitude does not cancel lament. It holds it. He then acknowledges the reality of injustice. The wicked seem strong, the needy seem forgotten, and the poor seem overlooked. David feels what we feel, the ache of a world that is not yet healed, not yet fair, not yet whole. But David also asserts what faith must remember. God does not forget the cry of the afflicted. That alone is our refuge. Psalm 34 verse 15 tells us, "The eyes of the Lord are towards the righteous, and His ears towards their cry." As the psalm closes, David prays for God to act, not from a place of despair, but from a place of trust. He knows that human power is temporary, but God's justice is sure. It may be slow from our vantage point, but it is certain from His. Psalm 9 teaches us how to live in this tension, praising God for what He has done while asking Him to move again, remembering His faithfulness while longing for His justice. Psalm 9 invites us into a faith that can hold two realities at once: gratitude and grief, praise and longing, memory and hope. It reminds us that God is our stronghold, not only when life feels ordered, but especially when it feels uneven. This psalm steadies us by teaching us to remember what God has done, to trust who He is in the present, and to believe that His justice will rise in His timing. It whispers this quiet truth: your cries are heard. Your pain is seen, and your praise, even when heavy, is a seed of hope planted in the presence of God. I'm glad we could rest on the couch with this psalm for a moment. Keep leaning into the word that steadies your steps.